All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back for episode 33. This is, goddamn, this is 33. I haven't been on in a while, and I'll get to that in a little bit as to why I haven't been on. But first, I want to start off with saying thank you to Stephen Hensley and to Kelly. Great episodes. Wonderful time a month and a half ago. I was actually traveling to Salt Lake City for work, and it was a great opportunity. So I hope to hit up some more cities. Um, Before we get started, I always have a drink, toast, um, Bonneville whiskey, phenomenal. It's actually last year, I believe, or the year before, it was ranked number one in the U.S. Um, so cheers. I really, really love doing this, and I haven't in a while, and I'll get to that here in a second. But cheers. Ooh, so good. Um, I have been a little preoccupied with a few things, actually, quite a bit of things. And it's no excuse for me not to get on here because it only takes 30 minutes to 45 minutes to an hour to whatever the case may be. But sometimes I don't think anybody sees that there's a little bit of prep work to try to get all this stuff done. Um, there's a research, there's other avenues that I go down, especially if I am bringing somebody onto the show. There are certain key things that I do, pre-show, post-show. So sometimes my time's kind of limited, especially right now. I slid into a new role at work, and through that new role, it allows me to travel some. And in the month and a half to almost 2 months that I've been in this role, I was in Salt Lake City for about 4 days, and I've also hit up Brazil and Peru with potential for several other places here shortly. And I wanted to do one in Peru or in Brazil, but I feel like this is a homeland thing. I feel like this is, America, and why we're doing this and why we talk about this, because um, the patriotism in America is a lot different than other countries. Though Lima was phenomenal and they had some great patriotism, some of these other places haven't seen what we've seen, haven't done what we've done. So my what's your why is going to stay in America for now. There might be an opportunity. I mean, I might find me somebody in Australia. Oh, I kind of gave it away. I might be going to Australia soon. But if I find somebody in Australia who's willing to talk about their time, if they went to Afghanistan or whatnot, totally down. Because it's what this is about. It's not what anything else is about. So I might have that discussion at that point. But until then, it stays in the homeland. You know what I mean? Now, with the busyness, with me being busy, me, not having a lot of time, I also started coaching my daughter's softball team again. It's one of those things that I really enjoy to do. My daughter kind of, I don't want to say coerced me into doing it, but she gave me a little sob story, and I was like, damn it, girl, like, why do you do this to me? Why do you always do this to me? But in reality, let's be realistic, I kind of like it. I like growing these little girls into, softball players and playing and doing the things that they love to do. And seeing the joy on their faces as they make plays or as they do things, it's a great feeling. If you get an opportunity, please go mentor these young kids so that they can grow, mature, and do the things that they want to do and love to do. Um, Along with that, I'm also part of an organization, Irreverent Warriors. And I didn't want to fully mention their name because I don't bring anything political into this realm. I mean, sometimes I've made little comments here and there, but I don't like to associate uh, political beliefs and political views with this podcast, because this podcast isn't about that. This podcast is solely about, why we did what we did and why we're in the military. A lot of these military members that are doing this, I'm going to backtrack a little. Reason why I'm a part of this organization is because we're going to be doing a military or suicide awareness, a veteran suicide awareness hike on the 19th of October. And if you're local to Tucson or maybe even Phoenix and you want to come down to do this, let's do it. It's a 6 mile hike. It's not any fast pace. It's going to take probably 2 hours to do, if not more. And we do it at you're only as strong as your weakest link, right? So that's one thing that I wanted to throw out there. Like, let's do this. Let's be a part of this. Let's create a little bit of change here, because I got some statistics that are really going to blow your mind, and it's just like, holy hell, and they just didn't come from out of nowhere. These are things that are constantly going on. So I've had a pretty busy schedule the past 2 months, past month and a half, since hanging out with Kelly and with Steven. And great topics, by the way. Great conversation with Kelly, with Steven too. Like, I mean, shit, I didn't know some of the things, and that's the beauty of having this podcast, is you bring out a lot into what somebody has to say. And I just want to continue this. And I know it's been a month and a half, but I had to jump on here because I feel like I think about this all the time. I mean, I thought about this. I took my laptop, my microphone and everything to Peru and Brazil because I wanted to do one there, but it was just so busy. And, I wanted to, I don't know. I just, look, there's America right there. And I just wanted to be here, for now. But some of the main topics that I want to talk about today is that suicide awareness thing, the suicide aspect of veterans. I've mentioned this many times. I've been in deep, dark spots before. Recently, I was a little depressed, and I started, changing my eating habits and walking and running and kind of working out. I've shed about 25 pounds-ish. I still got another 5 before I want to be back to military weight, which is neither here nor there, but that's just a personal goal. But through my walk, runs, through my lifting, through my getting on my bike, and doing that type of stuff, I realized that it's helped me mentally. And it's crazy because, I also started, it wasn't just a mental aspect, it was an emotional aspect, and it was a spiritual aspect, because I also started going back to church a little. And I'm not here. Political beliefs and religious beliefs are upon you. You do this, you know what you want, you know what you believe in, and that's solely you. But I am going to bring some stuff that they talked about in church that didn't just resonate with those that were going to church, but those that aligned with this, with the suicide awareness aspect. I was having, not some crazy thoughts, but I was just kind of in my head and emotional about some things. And I sit down at church and they talk about, getting your emotional and your mental and emotional state right. Literally, I sat down and my mind is already fucked up as it is. And I sit down and I hear this and I'm like, holy hell. Well, through this whole month and a half journey that I've been on with different things, I mean, shedding the weight, eating a lot cleaner. I mean, I haven't admitted this to a lot of people other than my kids, and they call me a fishitarian, but I kind of transferred over to becoming a pescatarian and eating a lot healthier and eating a lot cleaner and just eating fish. And I know there's the positives and the negatives to everything, but that's what I decided to do for a little while, just to kind of regroup myself. And it's that regrouping that I think a lot of us need, kind of changing habits, changing lifestyle. I've cut down on this a lot, but I like it. I mean, I like my beer, but I've cut down on carbs as well because, I felt sluggish. I didn't want to get up in the morning. I didn't want to do the things that I was doing. And now I feel a lot better. I feel cleaner, more energy. Now my knee's starting to hurt because here we are, 13 days into this month, and I'm already at 50 miles. Of walking and running. So I'm like, shit. So there's always going to be some problem, right? There's always going to be some limit fact or some limiting factors that are going to hinder us, but does it matter? Like, you're out there doing things, you're out there active, getting out there. Like, that's what you need. You need to do these things to get your mental and emotional health right. And little key aspect to this is, when I started talking to Luis, which Luis runs the IW program for Tucson, he brought up something very important. We all associate military and veteran suicides with the number, with 22. 22, think about that. 22 people a day, 22 veterans commit suicide a day. So what does that translate to? What, 6,000, 7,000 a year? But he said that number's a lot higher. And I started looking at statistics, and it's upwards of 44 to more. So do the math on that. 14,000 people. Now, some of them don't seem that they could be classified as suicide, but you pop an extra couple pills, and guess what? You drink yourself to sleep and don't wake up, guess what? That's a suicide. But those numbers are skewed, right? I mean, it's all on who. But in reality, more than zero is bad. Like, let's think about that. Because I've had friends. If you're watching this podcast and you did any time in the military, you probably know of some people. Maybe have had friends. More than zero is bad. So we need to kind of help curb that. And I always talk about this. I'm a part of this hike that's coming up soon because it's important to me. It's important because I've lost friends. It's important because I've been down that deep, dark hole. It's important because others need it. This is an outlet for me. Like, holy fuck, I'm blessed to be doing this shit. I just decided to do this because of, a class that I took. But keeping all this in and not doing my research and not doing anything kind of leads down a whole different path, right? So I think that we should do a better job in trying to support each other. I think that we can try a little harder, get the word out a little more, and support each other a lot more. Part of this is what the pastor had to say in church. He stated that the average person, and this is the average person, has 60,000 thoughts a day. It's a lot of fucking thoughts. It's a lot of thoughts. But of those 60,000 thoughts, 75% are negative. Now, those 75%, and this is my words, not his words. Those 75% absolutely overshadows the 25% that are out there that you think that are great. So 15,000 thoughts are positive and 45,000 thoughts are negative. Holy shit. It's no wonder we're always in our head. That's the average person. The overthinker, which this guy can be, is something along the lines of 95,000. So think about that. 95,000 thoughts. And 25% are positive, 75% are negative. So you're on the cusp of 72,000 thoughts that are negative. That's more than the average thinker even thinks. So what do we do about it? We kind of change our mindset. We get our minds right. We do these walks, we do these runs, we hang out with like-minded individuals, we bring out these negative thoughts and just fucking crush them. He had some, some other aspect to this and what you should do and how you should, go about it. And through preaching and through talking, it's a whole different thing. But I'm saying this from my standpoint. I'm saying this from what we do as a military community. What do we typically do when we have these thoughts? We turn to this. Now, I'm not saying that this is a bad thing, but we all know. I say we both, but usually people are watching this one-on-one with me or, watching me, and it's kind of a one-on-one thing. But we all know that this is bad for you. This is depressant. This creates a whole different whirlwind with your mindset and everything, and this kind of, inhibits those thoughts to become a little bit different, altering. Now, can we stop those thoughts? No. the average person, everybody's going to think these thoughts. But can we steer them or gear them in a direction? Yeah, absolutely. Through my mindset, through what I've been doing lately, is steering these in a different direction. During my walks, if I start thinking negative thoughts, because I definitely have a plethora of thoughts. I mean, last night I did a 7 mile walk run, and damn, did I have some thoughts. But they were both negative and positive. And the negative thoughts, I don't think they outweighed the positive, but the positivity to them was I always tried to bring something and tie something in that was great, that was positive. So maybe I had to have a talk with my daughter because she brought the team down. And that was kind of a negative aspect to it, because she's a leader of a team, and her demeanor definitely translates over into the team. Those of you who were in the military definitely can relate to that. If you had a toxic leader or a leader who wore his emotions on his shoulders or wore his heart on his shoulders, and you saw him down, how's the team? Their morale is down. So through these negative thoughts during the walk, I tried to see the positive in it. Positive is she can absolutely change this. She can absolutely change this culture by going to that team and having that discussion and apologizing for her negative connotation of what was going on. And by that, not just apologizing, but having that communication saying, hey, if you see me go down this hole, huddle around, pick me up, because I'm going to pick you up when you need it. Now, this is a team. This is a sport. People get down on themselves. People function differently. People act differently. But as a team, when you start including everybody, what happens? If you're a positive team, the positivity, even in the people who are shy, bashful, or don't feel they belong, start feeling like they fit in and start having that positive mindset. If you're a team where you don't click or you don't gel, what happens? It becomes toxic. And this is what I'm trying to teach my daughter, is that negative aspect can definitely become a toxic aspect. And we don't want that. We don't want that at all. So that was a positive light to my walk and my communication, or like my thought process to communicate to my daughter and to the team. Now, we need to do this amongst each other, because that's a lot of thoughts. That's a lot of keeping a lot of stuff to yourself, because I do. But I'm starting to be better. Starting to be better with my friends. Give a couple of my boys a shout out. Have a conversation with Tim. Tim, you guys have all met Tim. We will be doing a topic soon. And you just bounce things off of them. Are you going to have negative thoughts and a negative mindset? At times you can. But change it. I'm changing mine. I've been negative at times. On this podcast, I'm absolutely positive, but does it mean that I'm always positive? No, you've seen me on this podcast be vulnerable on this shit. And that's what we need. We need to take care of each other. And this is why I feel passionate about doing this hike. Because not only does it, show support for how we feel about these things, but it also allows us to network a little. Some of these guys don't have social media, and they're going to be coming out and doing this hike. But it allows us as like-minded individuals, as individuals that have gone through pain or have gone through deployments, have gone through other aspects, to be able to bond together and create that whole, realm of us being somewhat of a cohesive unit at that moment in time. And that can translate to some great friendships. I've met my friends through drinking. I've met my friends through hikes. I've met my friends through fun runs and through all kinds of stuff. And this is why we need to be out. If you have the opportunity, if you're not injured, if you can partake in some stuff like this, do it. Find your local Irreverent Warrior chapter and sign up. Or bring somebody along. And that's what I kind of wanted to, kind of just discuss, because it's important. It's important not to leave people behind, because you never know who's going to need help. You might be at the right place at the right time. Hopefully you're never at the wrong place at the wrong time. But it's important, right? I mean, we do this together. We're in this life together. We may not like each other at times. We may, there's a divide amongst everything right now. But we're in this life together. We need to grow this together. We need to be good together, be kind, and all the good stuff. Are there going to be negative things? Yeah, I just fucking hate it. I mean, one of my podcasts, episode 30 or 31 was Stop the Hate, because it just seems very negative. And then, something happened, and as we continually go through these, we'll see that, because now with the What's Your Why, I want to shift to a little bit more positivity. Like, give me a positive aspect. That is going to be part of my questions now. I want a positive aspect. Yeah, there's all kinds of negative stuff that we can throw out there, and those are the memorable things. But give me something that was just so positive that you were like, "Holy fuck!" Maybe it was that you helped somebody out in their deepest, darkest time of need. But I think that needs to be said, because there's a lot of good things that go unsaid, unnoticed, just out there. This whole aspect that we're in, I think there was another key point that I had. Oh, with that negative aspect, Forbes says for every negative aspect or negative thought, you need to have 3 positive thoughts. So let's get back to that overthinker that has 95,000 thoughts in a day. And 25% are positive and 75% are negative. So of those 72,000 thoughts, you have to have 216, my bad, my math. I'm from Texas, San Antonio. It's not that great. But 216 positive thoughts to negate the 72,000 thoughts that you had that were negative. But little at a time, one at a time. It's a building block, right? You have that one, then you add another, then you add another, and then they just continually grow. And next thing you know, you may have one, and subconsciously there may be 30,000 other ones in the back of your mind, but you have that one negative one, but you're thinking so many positive ones that one negative one just goes away. That's what we need to do, correct? Sorry, it's a lot to process, because it's pretty big and it's pretty important. Then another one was kind of renew the mind. And this was a different service, but it all leads to the same thing. Like, take care of yourself. Now, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we go down the rabbit hole. But we just push through. That's who we are. We need to, right? Now, a little shift in this. I have been busy, but I'm going to make a conscious effort to get more of these out there, because they're important. They're what we need to discuss and what we need to do. I have about 3 or 4 people lined up, and I just haven't had the optimal time to do these type of things. But these are important to me, because these do make a difference. This What's Your Why? People see them, people appreciate them, People like them. People share them. They end up on social media. I still want to grow this, and I don't know how. Do I need to hire a marketing individual? I don't think I want to go that route yet. But I do want to grow this. I do want to make this a little more fun. And I did talk about, having some kind of event or something. I'm going to see how this, I know this IW event is going to be very, very big. They have chapters, I think they have 125 chapters all throughout the United States and Europe, and I believe in Australia. Because it's important. A lot of us served over there. People in Europe went to Afghanistan and Iraq. People in Australia did the same thing. But I want to have an event to where it's local to Tucson. And if I could, I would just have a camera and go interview people. Wouldn't even care. I don't care what's going on around. Everybody can be in jumpy castles, but I'll just yank somebody out of there. Be like, look, you did fucking 10 years in the military. Have a seat. Let's have a discussion. So that's something that I want to look at. But I also ask all the time. Throw your comments out there. Throw your questions. What am I saying or doing right or wrong? What is it that you want to hear? Because I would love that. Like, give me some feedback. Give me some fucking feedback. I'm not in this to make money. I'm in this to have fun. I'm in this to drink some fucking alcohol, and I'm in this to, share stories. We were talking about stories the other day with some friends, and about traveling and going to different places, and it was actually yesterday that I was having this conversation where, us Hispanics or Mexicans or whatnot, one of the guys was joking, saying that, when you mess with the bean, you get the whole burrito. And the Hawaiians and the Samoans say, when you mess with one, you get the whole island. Or you mess with one coconut, you get the whole island. And it's just a phenomenal thing because they take care of each other, and we all take care of each other. And it's the same thing within branches. You mess with one Marine, you get the whole box of crayons, right? I had to fucking throw that out there. But it's just, we're together in this. We're together. And that's what it means. That's what all that meant. Not the bean burrito bullshit. Like but yeah. I hope that people see this. It's a together aspect. It's a what we do together. Bring people out. I know people are introverts. I know people are extroverts. I'm an introverted extrovert. So sometimes I get in my zone where I'm just like, fuck this. I don't want to deal with anybody. But I still got to be around people. And I hope that you guys see that it's the same thing. Get out there. Get out there. Fucking message me. I got back on Facebook. I was going to get off for a couple months because I needed a little break from society in terms of media, social media, regular media. It's just getting overwhelming at times. But I reactivated it for this event. And I really hope that some of you guys that are watching can be a part of this event. Because it is important. It is something that needs to be done, needs to be said, needs to be taken care of. We're a community that a lot of people don't understand. Why? How? What we did? Join, please. It's not asking for a lot. It's $5 to $7 to partake in this. To go do a 6-mile hike for suicide awareness. So I hope you will. I didn't want to do a long one in this one. And I think I've repeated myself a couple times about some small stuff. So I'm going to end it on this. I will have somebody on soon. I have a couple people. Danny, you're probably next. And then I need to go to San Antonio. And I keep saying this, but I need to go to fucking San Antonio to go just knock out like 6 great interviews that are going to be fucking phenomenal. But I keep saying, or I'm closing out on this. I love you fuckers. I love you fuckers. Some of you guys that have watched this don't even know who I am in person, which is great because it's getting out there. People are seeing it. People are enjoying it. People are loving it. Or they might not enjoy it. They might watch one episode and be like, who the fuck is this guy? But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. For those of you guys who watch it and who know me, like, I love you fuckers. For those of you guys who don't know me, I love you fuckers. I would do anything to help out another motherfucker if I could. If you guys have issues, if you guys have, things you want to talk about, if you just want to vent, if you just want anything, I'm always here. I'm always open. I'm always willing. Yeah, I'm busy, but that's different. I'll make time for that shit. Easily. Hit me up on here. I'll probably put my email address on. I think I have put my email address several times on here. But I'll also put my Facebook page, and I'll put the business page as well. So yeah, I appreciate it. Again, I love you guys. I wish you guys the best. I hope you like the podcast. Please comment. Please like and share. Please pass it along to your buddies. And if you see me out and about, let me know. Let me know, please. I would love for feedback, because I've gotten feedback in the grocery store. Hey, I know you. You're the podcast guy. Thanks, I appreciate it. And then I'm thinking in the back of my head, who the fuck, like, how? And I think I've said this in a previous episode. But I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you guys take care, be safe, and I will see you guys again. Hey, cheers again, and I love you.